Hey everyone, this is Crystal Lee, aka the Clinician Coach, and today we're doing a deep dive into the different website platforms so you can make an informed choice about which one's the right one for you. So before we dive in, I just want to make a little note about who I am and what the Clinician Coach is. So I'm a business coach that helps people build businesses that are passion driven, but that actually fit their life instead of the other way around, because I find a lot of times we've been socialized by grad school, our profession, to sacrifice a lot and to really make our business the priority and fit our life around our business. And I think that's just kind of BS. So that's kind of my philosophy. And so I'm hoping that, by giving you these free tips and advice and support, that you're able to really build a business that really fits into your lifestyle. In today's mini training, we are going to look at some of the most popular website platforms. There's definitely more than the 6 we're talking about, but these tend to be the most widely used, at least in the therapist world. So first we're going to talk about WordPress, wordpress.org, not wordpress.com, Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, and then therapy sites and Brighter Vision, which I consider in a different category because those are more like subscription sites rather than you build and make your own website. Starting with the probably most popular of all the platforms is WordPress.org. So some of the major pros of using WordPress is that it's free, you can get a custom domain name, there are tons of free themes that you can choose from, not just limited options, and you can customize them. They have drag and drop website building. You can pick your own web host of choice. I personally use HostGator, and you can also export all of your data in case you decide to switch platforms. You're not kind of beholden to always sticking to WordPress. That being said, there are 2 very big cons to using WordPress.org. One, you're pretty much responsible for everything because you're building it by yourself. So you're responsible for picking the theme, making sure you can customize it, using the right plugins, etc., etc. And also what makes that even harder is there's no customer service because this is a free, what they call open source program. So there's no customer service built in. There is quite a robust community of people where you can search and maybe find answers to your questions, lots of YouTube videos on WordPress because it is a very, very popular platform, but there's no individualized customer service available. But if you're looking for something that is really customizable, super ability to individualize it, WordPress is a pretty good deal. Most of the themes and plugins are free. There's some premium themes and upgrades to plugins that you can do that'll cost money, but it's generally pretty cheap. It's just a one-time cost. And then you'll just need to pay for the hosting for your website, which is usually somewhere around $15 to $30. But for these other programs also, you'll probably need to pay for hosting. So it's a pretty good deal all in all. Another really popular platform is Squarespace. They come with lots of really beautiful templates that you're able to customize pretty easily. They have SEO optimization features that are built in, whereas something like a WordPress website, you have to download an SEO plugin, so it's not immediately built in there. And then a nice thing about Squarespace is you can edit your website directly on the website, whereas with WordPress, there's some stuff that you're doing on the back end, then you have to preview it and then accept it. So it's not always super clear when you're editing what it's actually going to end up looking like. There are some downsides to Squarespace. So unlike WordPress that has literally thousands and thousands of templates or themes, Squarespace does have limited number of templates, and sometimes it's not always the most intuitive to figure out how to make those custom changes that you want to make. And it's not free like WordPress. One nice thing is you do get a free domain for the first year, but a con that goes along with that is the price then jumps up and can actually end up being more costly than if you just purchased a domain through a regular domain registrar. So Squarespace has a couple of different plans you can choose from. There's one that's the basic one, that's $12 a month billed annually, and then there's another that's $18 a month billed annually that has a few more features, but the $12 a month one will give you just like that basic website without any fancy features. And then you also have to consider that the domain name will cost you some money after your first year. Moving on to another pretty popular website platform is Wix. They have really pretty templates too that are also able to be customized. They have a drag and drop editor, and they also have an app market, which is similar to like plugins on WordPress, where you can add different features to your website. Like Squarespace, they have that SEO optimization features built in, and they also have a really great support like customer service and tutorials that you can use. Some cons of Wix is that once you pick your template, you're kind of stuck with it and you're not able to change it afterwards, which is a little strange. You could definitely change your template if you're on Squarespace or WordPress. If you want to change website hosts, you actually can't export your data, which is really strange also. So then you actually have to go in and copy and paste everything that you typed into your Wix website. You can't kind of copy the kind of format everything was in. It's a little annoying. And if you want a free website with Wix, it comes with ads, which looks really unprofessional. And the last thing is just a little annoyance, because this won't apply to many people's websites, but you are only limited to 2 levels on your menu navigation, meaning if you have like services as a button, and then you have individual therapy as the thing under services, you're limited in not being able to put like under individual therapy, like anxiety therapy, trauma therapy, whatever. You're just limited to 2 levels. So as I mentioned, there is a free plan for Wix, but it comes with a Wix domain, so not a custom domain name, and those really pesky ads. Both of those things tend to look really unprofessional. I would definitely not recommend that. Then you have your $5 a month thing, which lets you have your own domain, but again, still has ads that looks really unprofessional. So the really lowest level you would want to get is the $11 a month, which removes the Wix ads, give you some more bandwidth, but also gives you that customized domain name. And then they have some more expensive plans beyond that, but generally if you want just a pretty basic website, then that $11 a month thing will probably do you fine. And then plus the cost of your domain name, because that doesn't come included. Moving along, we're going to talk about Weebly, which is another fairly popular website platform. I actually think it's gotten more popular recently. So they have lots of free templates. You can change your template even after your website is published, similar to Squarespace and WordPress, unlike Wix. You have unlimited levels of navigation in your menu, so you're not limited as like you are in Wix. You have those SEO optimization features built in. They also have an app center where you can get like plugins, so you can add some more customized features. Something cool that the other platforms don't have is Weebly has an app like that you can use on an iPhone, iPad, or Android, so you can actually edit your website on the go, like from your phone or something. So that's pretty cool. And then you also have the ability to export your data, which is similar for WordPress, I believe Squarespace, but not Wix. So one big downside of Weebly is that they have fewer than 50 templates to choose from, and 50 might sound like a lot, but if you think of like how many people are using Weebly, that means a lot of Weebly websites are gonna kind of end up looking alike. And you compare 50 or fewer than 50 templates to like the thousands and thousands that WordPress has, it seems a little paltry. There is a limitation to how much you can customize without knowing how to code. You do get a free domain, which is similar to Squarespace, but it's only free for the first year. And they have some blogging features, but they're a little limited, which is strange considering that it's a fairly popular website builder. And knowing that blogging is such an important part of a website's good SEO and having really strong SEO, that's a pretty big con, I think. Similar to Wix, they have a free Weebly, which comes with a Weebly domain, ads, and limited storage. They also have like a $4 a month thing where you get your custom domain name, but there's still ads, which, as I was saying with Wix, is pretty unprofessional. So really the lowest level you would want is that $8 a month, where you can have a custom domain name, you don't have those ads, you have some good storage. And then also take into account that you're going to have to pay for the domain name on top of the cost of this platform. So now we're moving into website platforms where they kind of do some of the work for you, but they also own the content. So therapy sites, you can create a website using pre-filled content in, they say on their website, they claim 10 minutes. So you choose a template, it comes with like pre-populated website copy basically, and then you can customize it a little if you want to. They say that they also, that pre-done copy has good SEO, whatever, but then I think that's a little bit of a con because every single one of their websites is going to have the same SEO keywords, which is a little weird. One of the nice things is you're in control of editing your website. So unlike the next platform I'm going to talk about, Brighter Vision, you can actually control and edit your website yourself. You don't have to rely and wait on somebody. You get a free domain name included, and that's in perpetuity for however long you're using therapy sites, so that's really nice. And then something interesting that other platforms don't provide are these downloadable client form templates. So you can edit these templates, customize them, and have like these forms on your website included, which I thought was pretty cool. So a big con of therapy sites is there are only 15 templates to choose from. And you heard me earlier when I was like, ooh, this place only has 50. Can you imagine only 15? That's pretty limited. And you can't customize the websites beyond what they actually let you do. So even if you knew how to code or hired someone who knew how to code, they wouldn't be able to customize it even further beyond what therapy sites lets you do, which is kind of a bummer because sometimes things are like, oh, I wish this was set a little bit more to the left, or I wish this was a little bit bigger, and you can't do that here. There's no blogging features, which as I mentioned earlier, is a little strange because blogging is such a big part of a website's good SEO, and it's pretty expensive. So therapy sites will cost you $59 a month. You get unlimited pages with that, the ready-to-use client forms, online appointment requests, the domain name, up to 10 email addresses, 6 months free of Psychology Today, etc., etc. So they do throw in a lot for that monthly subscription, but they own your website. You do not own your website. So if you decided to leave therapy sites, you might have to talk with them a little bit about, can I actually like export the data, whatever. I thought I heard someone say that you aren't able to, which is annoying because then you're going to have to like copy and paste everything again. So the last platform that we're going to talk about is Brighter Vision. Something really cool about them is they actually pair you with a website developer who does all the work of making your website. So you get paired with this website developer, you talk to them on the phone for like 60 to 90 minutes, tell them what template or theme you want, tell them about the colors and what you want in the menu and your specialties, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 to 3 weeks later, poof, you got a website, fully functioning website, which is pretty cool. Something else nice that they do is they throw in a free annual SEO audit. So you can always kind of know how your website is doing in the SEO world. Like, is it ranking really well in certain keywords? Is it not? Whatever. And of course, they have really great customer service. So they have ongoing support. If you want to have any changes made, if heaven forbid something breaks, there is always someone you can reach to help you with that stuff. One of the downsides of having someone else make your website for you, and especially writing the copy for you, is it won't necessarily sound like the website is in your voice. It'll sound like somebody else. That being said, you can go back and tell the developer, hey, can you change it to sound like this? Can you change this word to that word, etc., etc., so you can make it more like yourself. But that is a bit of a downside. Another big downside, I think, is you're always relying on someone else to make changes to your website. So if you wanted to change a word or add a picture or something like that, swap something out, you're kind of at the mercy of the developer's schedule. And I hear that they make changes relatively quickly, but I have heard a few horror stories of things taking a little bit longer than they should. And if you did something, say, on WordPress, you could probably make those changes within seconds. It's fairly quite easy. There are a limited number of templates, so your website might end up looking like other therapists' websites, which is not a good thing. And Brighter Vision is quite expensive. It's $720 plus a year at its most basic plan, which is, you know, way, way more expensive than any of the other things that we've been talking about. Brighter Vision definitely costs the most out of all the website platforms that we were looking at. So it's $59 a month plus a $100 setup fee, which is waived if you pay for it annually, like all at once. They also have another tier of service, which is $79 a month plus that $100 setup fee, but it gives you little bonus features like pop-ups, blogging automation, scheduling of social media posts. So if you have some money to spend, you really don't want to worry about taking care of the website yourself, whatever, then Brighter Vision is probably a way to go. Just to recap, we looked at 6 different website platforms in today's mini training. So first we looked at WordPress, then Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, and then therapy sites and Brighter Vision. And really, when you look at all of them, there are definite pros and cons to every single platform. There's no perfect platform, but really just take a look what works best for you. For me, I actually went with WordPress because I really wanted to be able to customize things, do it on my own. I wanted to own the website completely. And I had a pretty high tolerance for that learning curve that people tend to complain about when they're talking about WordPress. There is a little bit of stuff that you have to learn in order to use it, but they do have this nice drag and drop builder, lots of themes. You can get people to help you with the WordPress stuff. Because it's so popular, there are a bajillion different tutorials on how to use WordPress and how to customize things. And there are some pretty cool plugins related to SEO to help you optimize your website. But really, whatever works for you, let me know what website platform you end up choosing. I'd be really curious. So for those of you who aren't watching this on Facebook, I just wanted to give a little shout out to our Facebook group, Build a Thriving Practice. This is where I provide free resources and support, and there's also just a really cool community of other psychologists and therapists who are going through the same thing that you are. And it's a great place to get some, emotional support, but also bounce some ideas off of them. It's a really cool group. I hope you consider joining us. But thank you again for watching the video and hope to see you soon.